Good morning, Miss Sandra. Today, me, Robby, Ratna, Ricky, Sean, and Song will be presenting our PowerPoint presentation slide on UNCTAD. So I'm gonna be focusing on the introduction and goals. Basically, the UNCTAD is the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. It was established in 1964 as a permanent intergovernmental body. The United States Conference on Trade and Development is a part of the United Nations Secretariat dealing with trade, investment, and development issues. The organization's goals are to maximize the trade, investment, and development opportunities of developing countries and assist them in their efforts to integrate into the world economy on equitable basis. The UNCTAD was established in the United States General Assembly in 1964, and it reports to the UN General Assembly and the United Nations Economic and Social Council. The objectives and principle. So the primary objective of UNCTAD is to formulate policies relating to all aspects of development, including trade, aid, transport, finance, and technology. The conference ordinarily meets once in 4 years. Uh, the permanent secretariat is in Geneva. One of the principal achievements of UNCTAD in 1964 has been to be able to conceive and implement the General System of Preferences, which is the GSP. It was argued in UNCTAD that to promote exports of manufactured goods from developing countries, its concessions to such exports. So, accepting this argument, the developed countries formulated the GSP scheme, under which manufacturers export and import of some agricultural goods from developing countries. So they enter duty free they enter duty free products, and they reduce the rates of the products when it comes to when it reaches the developed country. So imports of such items from developed countries are subject to normal rates of duties. Imports of same items from developing countries would enjoy a competitive advantage. So, so basically, those are the objectives and principle that has been sent out by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and also that's their main principle and what are their aims for the present and for the future. So now the next slides will be presented by my friends. Thank you, Miss.
The creation of United Nations Conference Trade and Development was in 1964. It was based on the concerns of developing countries over the international market. It was established to provide a forum for developing countries so they could communicate their problems with economic development. The first conference they held is at Geneva in 1964, and the headquarters is also there as if now. Now, the United Nations Conference Trade and Development has 195 members as if now 2021.
Okay, my name is Ricky. Now I'm going to explain UNCTAD development throughout the year. So UNCTAD is started from 1964 with the purpose is to expand the capabilities of trade around the world. It has been 56 years since the first time UNCTAD is set. Until now, 2020, UNCTAD have around 195 member states, which is divided into 4 group categories based on the United Nations listing. Besides having 195 member states, UNCTAD also having a project with 227 countries and budgeted total of $108 million, with $68 million from the United Nations itself and $40 million for technical assistance fund.
In this slide, I will discuss the issues that require UNCTAD's engagement and its recommendation. There are two issues. The first one is aid for trade. Aid for trade is an important area of recent concern that UNCTAD can clarify and take a lead in. The Aid for Trade initiative encompasses issues ranging from trade-related technical assistance and capacity building to improve productive capacities. To overcome supply constraints and trade-related infrastructure, and helping developing countries to manage adjustment processes resulting from trading. UNCTAD, whose traditional mandate is to look at such issues such as trade development, is one of the natural agencies to be actively involved in the Aid for Trade initiative. UNCTAD's comparative advantage has been in providing developing countries with an integrated perspective on trade, development strategies and policies, and promoting coherence in this regard. The second issue is regional integration and South-South cooperation. It is one of the other areas where UNCTAD's engagement is required. UNCTAD should monitor the trends and look into emerging issues and implications from a global and development perspective. It should also help design and launch new modalities for increasing trade, investment, and technology flows among developing countries. And for the recommendation, UNCTAD needs to be a leader in identifying and analyzing key emerging issues and to advocate solutions for today and future development challenges. That is all for my slide. Next slide will be presented by Song Yupli. Thank you.
I will explain some of important aspects of what was announced by UNCTAD at the end of last year. WHO predicted that COVID-19 would reduce global trade volume by 32% in 2020, but according to UNCTAD publications 2020, trade volume actually declined by about 9% over the past year. Fortunately, the trade volume of East Asia countries has increased by 8% starting in fourth quarter of 2020 and is recovering. China ranked first in the global FTA count for the first time, with foreign invest of 163 billion. Despite the conflict between US and China, several US companies, including Tesla, Walmart, have made huge investment in China. Lastly, it is predicted that about 100 million people worldwide will lose their jobs due to COVID-19, and about 120 million people living in developing countries will fall into absolute poverty.
So today I will be presenting you about UNCTAD Creative Economy Program. In this economy program, the economy generates information through a trade lens to understand past trends and to promote the goods in the creative economy, such as intellectual property, ideas, and imagination. A creative economy is essentially the knowledge-based economic activities upon which the creative industries are based. The output of a creative economy, such as film, video, photography, and music, are the lifeblood of the creative economy. They are also considered as important source of commercial and cultural value. The creative economy is the sum of all the parts of the creative industries, including trade, labor, and production. Today, the creative industries are among the most dynamic sectors in the world providing new opportunities for developing countries to leapfrog into emerging high-growth areas of the world economy. The Creative Economy Program Mandate. The mandate consists of ACCRA, Sao Paulo, and Nairobi. The ACCRA the ACCRA stands for American Chamber of Commerce Research Association, which happened in 2008. The ACRA panel recognized that UNCTAD's work in the area of the creative economy and the creative industries should be pursued and enhanced. It was felt that UNCTAD should continue to fulfill its mandates and assist governments on issues related to the development dimension of the creative economy. The Sao Paulo Mandate. The international community should support national efforts of developing countries to increase their participation in and benefit from dynamic sector and to foster, protect, and promote their creative industries. Lastly, Nairobi contribute to a more balanced and inclusive trade in new dynamic sectors and will take a multi-stakeholder consultant approach. Through national studies, surveys, stakeholders will examine different policy domains, which includes fiscal policy, trade policy, consumer protection, tariff and non-tariff measures, and intellectual property regimes to promote promising creative industry sectors. Thank you.
Now I'm going to talk about UNCTAD recent works. So, UNCTAD further focus its analytical research on the linkage between trade, investment, technology, and enterprise development. The second is putting forward a positive agenda for developing countries in international trade negotiation, and then expanded work on international investment issues, and the last is expanded and diversified its technical assistance.